Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
This is the last place that Layla Santinello was seen. Witnesses actually saw her at this hotel and she was distraught. We know she slept in the woods somewhere here. The fence, I see the fence over here. That just is something that I've seen. Look at this. Holy crap, look. We can follow her path. Somebody walked through here. Look at the way they sing. Somebody walked through it this way, not that way. Somebody's been back here. I wonder if her boyfriend came back here looking for her. If you know something, say something, because her life does matter. And for the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up. Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that went missing from Sumner County, Tennessee, Hendersonville, Tennessee, on February 26th, the same day that Madeline Soto disappeared from Kissimmee, Florida. This is a case where this 15-year-old autistic boy allegedly got up in the middle of the night and walked out his door and never was seen again. Many people that have autistic children understand that this is a weird analysis of what could happen, especially when you have an autistic child that is not a runner, always has his feet covered. Let's leave it like that. He always puts something on his feet to go outside, and he just vanishes. There were videos that went out that said that something was flashlights in their backyard. People are looking at the stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot, because he's had DCS in his life in the past. He's going through a custody battle in New Mexico, which has allegations of spousal and domestic violence abuses inside the home. The Sumner County residents are calling on extra resources to help search and aid in Sebastian's return. Nobody knows where Sebastian is. We've got people out. Many people believe Chris Proudfoot has something to do with it, so they're running along his path of travel to find out anything, any possible dumping sites for Sebastian. We know we just had the Cajun Navy over there at Riley Strain's case, and a TikToker with 92,000 followers is begging for the Cajun Navy to get involved in this case as well. So is it possible? Could Christopher Proudfoot be associated with this? Did he come home that weekend? He's saying that he stayed in Memphis the entire weekend and never came back home to his wife or his stepson. What is your thoughts on this case? I am going out there sometime next week to start aiding in the efforts for the search, as well as bringing my platform to bring awareness to his case. I hope you guys support those efforts, and I will see you guys real soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America. And more importantly, God bless our victims. Well, good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube and X. It's nice to see you this morning. Obviously we received some not so good news. Well, it's a double-edged sword. It was good news, but not so good news about Riley Strain. Before we get into the morning topic, I do want to move this over to a video, their gratitude to the world to help them bring their son home.
Thank you all for being here, and those of you that help us keep Riley's face in front of the cameras. You've helped us get some closure here and let us take our boy home.
Press conference was just held related to Riley Strain, and his family just wants to thank everybody involved in this matter that helped them find their son. As you see, everybody is just reeling with emotions right now. This is not the outcome anybody had hoped for, but one that was expected, and the family is just thankful. They're just thankful that they get to bring their boy home, and everybody out there, including social media, had a part in that. Check it out.
I got a lot of people to thank, and I'm sure I'll forget somebody. You won't be forgotten. I'll remember you. The whole family will remember you. I want to first thank the NMPD for their efforts. They've had a lot of sleepless nights on this case as well. Can't give them enough thanks. Really appreciate the work they've done. The United Cajun Navy has come in to assist them. They've done a lot of work on the water and land for us. Came in and gave structure to this investigation on our side of it. The Ward family for all their work. All the people back home in our own personal lives that have been there to support us. and our family at home as well. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. We can't say enough to all of you. Thank you.
Most of you are familiar with seeing my face by now. I'm sure we're all ready for it to be over with. It's been an emotional roller coaster. We're quite thankful for everything that you've done for our family. The grace that you've given us, it means a lot, more than you'll ever know. We have learned through this ordeal that everybody has brought all the good to us. We've had a little bad. We're extremely thankful for all the volunteers that have shown up, given us their time, their effort, their energy. Very little sleep they've gone on. Our family, we can't thank our family enough for all the support that they've provided us, for all the, time spent, the love, the energy. Our friends that we consider family that aren't able to be here but have been at home caring to everything that we can't take care of, thank you. To the people of Nashville, I can't thank you enough for the support, the love, the encouragement that you've shown myself and my wife and Ryan and Millie. You don't understand how much that meant to us in some of our darkest hours. The hugs, the prayers, the offers. I can't say it enough. Thank you.
I just want to reiterate how thankful we are for everyone and how much we appreciate everyone's support and love and prayers, because we feel them. We have felt every one of them, every single one. I just ask that you mamas out there hug your babies tight tonight, please. Please, for me, just hug your babies tight tonight. And again, thank you. Thank you for sharing our story.
Whew. Little emotional to start our morning off, but I thought it was important for us to hear their thank yous. This was very hard for them, as you can imagine. That mother, we've watched her just break before our eyes and have to deal with pain that she can't even imagine. And so that was the finality of Riley Strain and his story. And his family now has to live the rest of their life without him. So I'm glad that this wasn't foul play. But what a tragic accident. And I pray that, and I came out very strongly, that I think barriers need to be put up. We're learning from the council members this morning that they are considering putting additional barriers and making it harder for people to get down that side of the mountain. That's good news to hear. What else did we hear? There was something else and I can't remember. Oh, the Cajun Navy. I went on my TikTok this morning and we had quite a bit of people in there. And so we were asking, for the audience to start reaching out to the Cajun Navy and getting them redirected over to Sebastian Rogers, since they're already in the community. It's right there. It should be very easy, as far as resource wise, they've already spent the resources getting everything into Nashville. I mean, it's just Hendersonville. So it's really close. It seems like it would be a way to double, to get, get more out of this. And so I did receive confirmation that it appears that the Cajun Navy is actually en route right now to aid and help in the Sebastian Rogers case. So for all the people that have been reaching out to them, thank you. Thank you for that. So that's where we're going. We're going to now be moving over to the Sebastian Rogers case. It seems like it needs more attention. The commission, the community members, the community leaders are asking for assistance. They're asking for help. They're stumped. They don't have the resources. They need additional resources. So if you're out in that area and you want to help hand out flyers, you want to help out post signs, you want to help search. It sounds like they were needing searches all the way up and down I-40. So there's a large area, a large stretch that even people that are not right there in the Hendersonville area can actually assist and help clearing some areas and trying to find a resolution for the Sebastian Rogers case. This is an uphill battle. A significant amount of time has lapsed, and we have no sight of Sebastian Rogers. There's been no communication from Sebastian Rogers. He literally just vanished. He disappeared. So we're going to need, help in that case. So if anybody would like to assist, please assist. If you have a way to contribute flyers, signs, anything that can help bring awareness to this. If you have that ability, if you have a sign company, please consider sending those resources in. If you don't know how, reach out to me. I'm going to be going out there next week. If we can get some stuff here, I'll take them with me. So whatever you guys want to give me, I am going to be going out to that area. I'm looking for any kind of donations related to everything Sebastian Rogers related, signs, magnets, flyers, anything. So if you guys could do that, that would be great. I know we have, I know that like in Georgia, we had a sign company that prepared us, signs on little posts to stick in the ground. It was great. And they delivered them right to us. Not expecting any of that or anything like that. But if we can have something like that, I will definitely go. You guys know me. I'm a worker. So when I get out there, when my feet hit the ground, I work nonstop from the time I get there to the time I leave. There is no leisure time for me. So if we need to get out there, we need to work. I'm one of those people that go out there and hit it as hard as I can. And when I'm ready to drop, I come home. So if you guys would like to assist in any way, if you'd like to meet me out there, if anything that you guys would like to do, I'm going to leave that up to you. Once I get my schedule more in line of where I'm going to be going, what my first stop's going to be, where I'm planning on proceeding. I have to look at maps. I have to look at paths to travel. I have to look at areas that I think might be conducive for a good search. So if you guys are interested in doing that, or you're in the Tennessee area, or even some of the creators out there, the collaborators, listen, guys, I know that when we first came out here on YouTube, everybody didn't understand why we're going out to these cases and everything like that. It's because they need help, and we know they need help. And so we came under a heavy scrutiny, heavy fire from a lot of people on social media about the way we do our work. But you know what? We're here to inspire. And I just found out that the Pascal show actually went out to the Riley Strain case. We're getting people out from behind their computers to really bring this kind of stuff to people and really be impactful and really help. Having your body out there versus being behind a computer, you're there. Trust me, when you're on the ground, you can't help but to work. You can't help but to search. I want as many creators out there on the ground as possible, because we have eyeballs. And when we have eyeballs, we have cameras. And when we have cameras, we have more eyeballs on those cameras, looking at every little thing that we're missing. There's somebody on that other side of the computer slowing it down and looking at every little thing and letting us know, while we're boots on the ground, that go back and look at this, or go back and look at that, or hey, go over here and check this out, or go over there. You don't get that standing behind your computer. So I was absolutely floored and flabbergasted that we saw the Pascal show out there. That I have never seen. So, we are inspiring creators to do more, right? We are inspiring creators to do more. I really would like to think that the Three Musketeers, and you know who they were and are, kind of pioneered this in our lives, on YouTube, and pushing the ball forward in reporting and newsworthiness stories. So I really think that we started something. I'm seeing it getting momentum behind it, and I'm kind of surprised and shocked. I mean, what can I say? Good work. Good work. All right, so getting to the Sebastian Rogers case. Let's go through the factual information first. Okay, so everybody is up to date on all the facts that we have them as we know them. If I'm missing something, let me know. Before we get started, I just want to say good morning to my beautiful people. Sonia, first to say good morning to the coffee club. Since we're already 20 minutes in, I'm just going to try to briefly go through this. If I miss you, I'm sorry. Good morning. The Real Me Too, Victoria, Manic Mama T, Jazzy, Southern Grammy Wolf. It's nice to see you. God bless you. Days, it's nice to see you as well. Witchy Girl, good morning. Who else do we have? November Rain, it's nice to see you. I see you bright and early this morning. Must have that grandbaby this Saturday morning. Got you up all in the good mood. No, I'm just kidding. Buck Cherry Lover, I see you up in the house. Pebbles, it's nice to see you as well. Who else do we have? I see Taryn, it's nice to see you. Guidance, good morning. Just Deb, Maria, it's nice to see you as well. Lisbeth, it's great to see you up in the house this morning. Maria, good morning. Love it. Oh, our Big Mac Mike is up in the house. It's nice to see you. Trouble, KB, I see you. So I see you guys. If I missed you, I know I missed a lot of people, but this is just Dollar Sterling. It's nice to see you. This is just a blanket. Good morning, SSD, Linda Lou. It's all nice to see you all here this morning. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. God bless you. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday this morning. But we're going to be diving into the Sebastian Rogers case because of a couple things. One, he's an autistic boy. The story doesn't make sense. It has a lot of twists and turns to it. There's a lot of people pointing fingers at each other. There's a lot of social media creators pointing fingers at the stepfather and the stepmother. We want to just know what's going on, and we would love to bring Sebastian Rogers home and bring him home safely. However, he has been missing since almost a month. And the idea that he's been out there for a month without food and water, without his medication, without a clean bath or clothes, it's becoming very frightful. Now, we see the mother of Riley Strain, and we see the mother of Sebastian Rogers. Now, Sebastian Rogers' mom is almost in a daze and in a trance, and she seems upset. But again, oh, Jules, good morning. I don't know how to take this family because I just feel like Chris Proudfoot, he's in the Navy. I mean, his financing, let's just put it like this. He got veteran financing. He had 0% financing on his home. So he's definitely qualifies to get VA loans, which is a minimum of 2 years in the military. We don't know how long he was actually in the military, but he does say that he is a Navyman. He was with the U.S. Navy. And if that's the case, was he ever trained in, counterterrorism tactics, such as being able to, deceive a polygraph, do countermeasures for polygraph examinations? Because he's proclaiming he passed his polygraph test, that him and his wife passed their polygraph test. They're saying that the lights that were possibly in the backyard were nothing more than signs that were reflecting light, is what I'm hearing. And so I've been very conflicted with this case because I like the behavior panel, but the last two cases, predominantly Jennifer Soto's breakdown with them, as well as the Rogers parents, Proudfoots, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, I didn't agree with them on either one of their assessments. I agreed in part with Jen Soto because, yes, I do believe she was deceptive, and that was what the point of the behavior panel was, is decide whether she was deceptive. So in part, I did believe she was deceptive. However, with the information that I had, such as Stefan being a predator, such as Stefan doing other, and her having mental illness, I applied those factors when assessing the deception and stuff like that. Does that mean anything? No, it doesn't mean jack shit. But what I'm trying to say is I just applied different. So that's why I say I agree with them in part on Jennifer Soto. But when it came to this case here, the Rogers, the Proudfoot parents, I totally disagreed with their assessment altogether. I like they got the behaviors, the shrugs, the this, the that, the involuntary movements as they're talking, but they kept giving them excuses for doing it. And I don't know if I've ever seen them do that before, but it was like they almost went out of their way to excuse the mom and stepdad for these odd behaviors that I would deem red flags and deceptive. However, again, these are professionals. And so I try to, and not only that, but Chase Hughes, the love of God, is the one that I've been reading books about and studying under. You know what I'm saying? So, you're talking about somebody that I highly respect here. I've read his books. I've studied body language, by myself. I didn't go to college or school or university. I don't want to deceive anybody, but Chase Hughes has a course. And you can actually physically go there, or you can purchase some books. Well, one of my subscribers, which is no longer, she doesn't even like me anymore because she's effing nuts. And I didn't realize it at the time, but she ended up getting me this book. And so I've been reading it. She seemed really nice. She did all this artwork and stuff like that. But it's like, if I didn't give her my attention, she went freaking crazy. Like every time I gave her my phone number, big mistake. I've had to block her, because she wouldn't leave me alone. Like she's effing nuts. She's effing nuts. And I hope she gets help for that. But she gave me the book, and that's what started out my whole thing with this whole body language, because I had my bullshit detector, right? And I'm not talking about my bullshit button. I'm talking about I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. That was bullshit. All right. So, it was just, anyways. Getting on with this Sebastian Rogers case and them, I believed that they, I was on the fence. I didn't know what to believe. I was listening to these people that I trusted, that I highly respect and everything, and they are just giving these people passes after passes after passes after passes, right? And so I'm just scratching my head saying, okay, I'm losing my stuff. I've got a lot of stress going on here, right? I've got a lawsuit going. I've got 5 cases going. I'm building Twitter. I'm building TikTok. I'm building Instagram. I'm building YouTube. I'm building 3 channels on YouTube, 2 channels on TikTok. And it's just like I am consumed with work all day long. Maybe I just have it wrong. I'm just so busy. I'm missing social cues. I'm just so much under pressure that I'm missing it. And I keep going back and wondering, what the hell did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't think I'm missing anything. I think the behavior panel got it wrong. I'm sorry. I call me crazy. Many people do. Right? Let me get my... Gotta get some effects here. You know who you are. So I'm sitting here and I keep looking at it, and I look at her, and you go back and you start analyzing and over-analyzing crap. I can't over-analyze anything, okay? I just can't do it. I'll watch it 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times. I find out when I over-analyze something, I start seeing shit that ain't there, okay? And anybody that does that to themselves, just stop. It's a waste of time. I'm telling you, it's just a waste of time. Don't over-analyze anything because you start seeing shit that ain't there. So I've watched this a couple times. I give myself a break, and then I watch it again, and I'm looking at it. And I'm wondering, am I missing any cues? And I'm looking at his behavior. I'm looking at his face. I'm looking at how he's looking over at her. And I'm looking at some of the expressions on his face. And it's really crazy because there's sometimes when I look at him and he almost has a disgusted look on his face when it comes to her. But I digress, and we'll go to those things. But we're going to pay attention to this segment of the interview. We're going to have to listen to a commercial because I didn't set it up before I started. But we're going to listen to what their statements were when they first stated what happened that morning. And then we're going over to Olivia's and listening to the first few minutes of Olivia's interview with them, because to me, there's some glaring differences there. And I'm always looking to find out if a story changes, and if it does, how much, right? Is it a minor issue? Is it just something that was forgotten? So let's just look at this. Let's listen to this. I want to get focus only on it when we get to the part, because I don't know where it's at. When we get to the part in here where they start focusing on that day, I'm going to stop, rewind, and remind you this is the part we're going to focus on. And then we'll pop right over. I already know where it is on Olivia's. I just couldn't remember where it was on here. And I wasn't going to sit here and hunt for it. We can do it all right here live on TV.
So first, just express, I can't even imagine as a parent.
Wow, that's really horrible. Hold on a
you
second.
are
There
going
it goes.
through. How would you describe the situation right now? How are you coping?
Like, I don't see, this is another thing. Like, I don't understand her expressions either. Okay. And here's something I'm just going to give you guys. You know, not everybody expresses their emotions the same way. I get it. I get it. But when I look at her and I look at Riley Strain's mom, I see kind of similar personalities and behaviors in their body language and stuff like that. Just their demeanor, their mannerism, if that makes sense. Demeanor and mannerism. Let me say it that way. And I see Riley Strain's mother and her unknown of where her son was and how grief-stricken she couldn't control herself. She was so scared and nervous where her son could be and what could have happened to her son that she was physically inconsolable. Every time she talked, she shook, she was emotional, she was crying, she couldn't control it. She was scared. She was terrified. She had this gut feeling that something ain't right. That was Riley Strain's mom. And then you come over here and you're looking at this mother. And at the time, I didn't look at these things because, you know, at the time, I'm seeing emotional parents here. Their child just disappeared. It's not my first assumption to say the parents did it, despite what the echo chambers say. So I'm listening to this. So I'm not noticing these things, but as things go on, you got to look at them. And their behaviors thereafter. We're going to even get into some behaviors on Smiley's world, because there was some odd behavior there too. Taking the focus off Sebastian, putting it directly on him. He's worried about what people think of him. Listen, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I do a lot of shit. If I worried about what everybody was thinking or saying about me, I wouldn't be able to do my job. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, he's in the Navy. When did a Navy man give a rat's ass what somebody thought about them? You know? My uncle will make a scene somewhere. He don't care. So I'm just, you know, and so that tells me that he has this need like to, his image is important. Like his image is super, super important to him. And so that's a problem for me, because why is your image so important to you? When you have people that have that are absolutely all about image, all about this, it always makes me wonder why, because it tells me they have an insecurity about themselves related to them not being so perfect and innocent. So it's like, you know, when I start hearing that, and I hear that from some creators here on this platform too, you know, I used to work with one, always talking about my image and stuff like, I don't care. I don't care. You know, and I want to make sure that that's clear out there, that the reason why people come over here is because I say it like it is. I don't care what people say about me. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. So what? I'm human. I'm taking this notional way that people have to be perfect in our society. We are not perfect human beings. None of us are. None of us. But how imperfect are some? Some are a lot more imperfect than others. And we have to start looking at these things with a clinical eye when we're looking at this family, because now that I have a mom that's grief-stricken, has unknowns about her child in just a few miles away from this mom here, and I see differences in this mom's behavior for that mom's behavior, it makes me stop and say, that's just me personally. But what we know about the facts of the case is that he went missing. According to the mother, she woke up at 6 a.m. When she went into his room, he was not there. She doesn't know why he walked out of the house. I don't know why she thinks he walked out of the house. The door was locked. There's no evidence of him walking out of the house. Then we have the searchers come in. Now, mind you, these are the professional searchers because, from my understanding, they didn't really want any non-certified searchers there at the beginning of the search, which, when you're looking for a kid, who gives a shit? But I digress. But even the searchers, the professional searchers that were out there said, look, we usually get something by now. We've got nothing. We don't even have hits. Nowhere. As if he didn't even walk out of his house. What? They don't even have hits to confirm that this boy walked out of his house? Touched the door? How is that possible? So that's the first. That's when it was right then when those searchers started saying that publicly and to not to law enforcement, to mainstream media. Everybody started. Is that Ricky? Do I see Ricky? Hey, Ricky, it's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're having a great day. I've been watching you, killing it with your music. Love you, my friend. So when you hear this, I think that's when the focus started looking at the parents. It's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me he disappeared. The front door was locked. Mom doesn't know what happened to him. Did not see him walk away. Just assumes he walked away. And now we have searchers in the area saying that they didn't even get the hit from his front door. What? So again, none of this stuff made sense. And then, of course, we have news crews coming in here. And this was one of their first interviews that we've got up right now. And this is what Katie said of that morning that Sebastian Rogers disappeared. Oh, that's impossible, Ricky. That's impossible. I'm going to be in Tennessee. I know I've got to go. I'm going to try. You know how my trying is. I am horrible at trying when I try to get to some place when it's not on the schedule. But I still have to go see Turkey Man. And I know you're there, and I was supposed to meet you down in Florida when you were here recording. And I didn't get a chance to. So I am going to try. I'm getting the car back, and I need to make sure that that the $1,700 was well spent. So I'm gonna work the car out and just make sure the mechanic did everything right. Hopefully I get it back Monday. Keep our fingers crossed. Say a prayer for me, guys, because I'm gonna go crazy if I have to stay in the house one more minute past Monday. I'm climbing the walls here. Okay, I have not left my house. I am Basement Betty. Basement Betty. So their stories didn't make sense. And I think that's when we started looking. This is the video where we noticed scratches on Chris's arm. He explains him at Smiley's World. I don't know if I believe him, because at first he's like, oh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about this? And then it's like, you could see him processing the information and trying to find the way to answer how he got the scratches on his arm, as they were asking him. Like, you could literally see the gears turning in his head as to how to answer this question. So no, I don't believe his answer with the scratches. And it's very concerning to me, because I believe if this happened, he wouldn't have came through the front door. He would have snuck around the back. And even if the scratches weren't from an altercation or something, maybe it was from him moving something heavy. Oh, Southern Grammy. I don't think did I sing to you? I didn't sing to you because it was just in the last month. You were in the hospital for your birthday. Maybe I'll sing to you later. Maybe I'll get my goofy hat for your Bullhorn Betty late birthday. Aw, thank you, Jen. God bless you as well. All right, so let's get back to this, and then we'll go. I've got to find the spot that they have where they talk about that morning, because we're gonna, as soon as we get to that spot, we're gonna dovetail back over to Chronicles of Olivia. Like, look at her. Like, the behavior panel gave this smirk a pass. Like, she doesn't know where her son is. I don't know. But you know what? I've been in front of cameras a lot of the times. There's been times that I've had, uneasy expressions on my face, or did something that was just an uncomfortable something just off a whim. So, I mean, it does happen. So if we wanted to give her that it just does happen. Sometimes people are really shy in front of cameras, and no matter how much of a tragic event it is, it's just very hard to stay concentrated.
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone.
Oh, honey, if you guys are responsible, it's going to get a lot worse for you, baby.
Not anyone.
I know we're about keeping hope alive. I'm sure that's in there somewhere.
And then there's another one. Like, you know what? The behavior panel dogged Jen Santinello for not bringing, Jen Soto for not bringing her daughter's name up and saying, oh, look how long it took her to bring up Sebastian's name. But when it came to this family, literally 1 week later, they're like, oh, you know, that's okay. She's just distraught. I can't even remember what they said. But this news reporter is literally coaxing this person, coaxing these mom and stepdad about, hey, you want to keep hope alive, right? I mean, that's part of the messaging, isn't it? It's like, and the behavior panel gave that a free pass and said whatever they said, but whatever it was in the favor of these parents.
Where?
Oh, yeah. Always. He's going to walk through that door. And the street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
That boy's going to have more friends than he knows what to do with when he comes home.
I don't understand that either. That's not just the weird laugh. It's like, why are they surrounded by friends? It's like they're envisioning this perfect life when he walks back through that door or whatever, or trying to envision that perfect life for the audience. I didn't quite get the whole friend thing and him having more friends than he'll know what to do with when he walks through the door. I don't know what I think about all that. It just seemed like very, very odd things to be talking about when we're here for Sebastian Rogers, just for me personally. But you know what? Again, I've been interviewed 1,000 times, and there are some weird conversations that you guys would probably look at me and say, huh? You know, it just happens. So I don't know what part of that is just nervousness by being interviewed for the first time, or that is truly, you know, just odd behavior.
So here we are, 8 days now searching for him.
This is 8 days. This mother is not, you know, she walked out. She's not begging for anything. Is my problem. She's not longing. She doesn't appear to be longing. Like when we looked at Riley Strain's mom, she was longing to see and touch her child. She was not willing to even go back home to Missouri without her child. And I just, you know, we're playing tit for tat here. Found several notebooks at Connie's house that contain information about these cases. She was really into her missing children. Oh my gosh, this must be Connie's sister. Well, it's nice to see you. Thank you. I would love to see those or speak about that. Thank you so much for keeping us updated. If you want to, you can reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And I know we were chatting a little bit on Messenger, but if you want to reach out to me on bullhornbetty@gmail.com, I'll give you my phone number and we can just chat. I hope everything's going well for your family, and you know, again, my condolences. Connie Branch was a valued member here on the Coffee Club. She was a Coffee Club family member. And, you know, we were with her through a lot of ups and downs. She, let me just get this off them. She, you know, lost her husband and then lost her son, like within a year apart. And then she had to go out to California because she was so lonely and she wanted to spend some time with her other son and their family. And, you know, she just wasn't happy there. And so she wanted to come back, and she came back home. And we wake up one day and she's gone. And it was very unexpected for us. It was very unexpected for her family. She was loved. She always loved calling into the show. She always loved being part of the Coffee Club family. And so it's a real loss to the true crime community, in my opinion. She was a very nice woman, and she was always so fun to talk to on the phone. I mean, she was, right? She was just fun. She was a fun person. So I never got an opportunity to meet her in person, even though we always had made plans to do so. So just a missed opportunity on my part, and that I'll forever, I'll forever regret. So, but thank you for keeping us updated. I really do appreciate it. All right, so I think we're going to start getting into some of the conversations related to Sebastian Rogers here. So let's just see what we got going on.
Walk us through that Sunday night.
Okay, so this is where we got confused on the Sunday. Okay, so this is going to be the Sunday leading up to the day that he disappeared. We're getting to the point where he disappeared at this moment. So I want, and I'll stop it again to tell you to pay attention to the statement she made. Let's listen.
Night that he went missing. So walk us through. We've got so many people who really want to know. Okay, how did this happen? So kind of just walk us through that night.
So this is Sunday night, guys. Remember, this is Sunday night. She's going to talk about what they did leading up to Monday morning.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
And that laugh,
good night to him.
That laugh is another thing that I thought was odd that led me to believe that these parents were being untruthful. And another thing that made me second guess myself, because the behavior panel again blew that laugh off and explained it.
Peace.
Hold on, back it up just a little
How did this happen?
Okay.
So
I won't
walk us
interrupt.
through that night.
We were out and about that day. We were having a really good weekend. We got home. Everything was pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you." Said good night to his puppies. A little bit later, I wound up going to bed, and when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there.
So
Realized I had my mic on, or my mic off. I want you guys to realize that we're about to get into when she woke up that morning, because she's saying that they had a great day. He went to bed. When she woke up, he was not there. Let's keep going.
So in your mind, that's usually around what time? When do you normally wake up? Around 6 o'clock?
6.
So were you instantly thinking something's wrong, or were you like...
Okay, here's where the details start getting, this is where we're going to start. Once she gets through this story, we're going to dovetail over to Chronicles of Olivia. Let's listen. Pay very close attention here, what she says.
He may just be already in the shower.
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband and I said, "I can't find him." He said, "What do you mean you can't find him?" I said, "He's not in the house."
And so at that point, is that when you call 911, or what's going through your mind?
While we were on the phone, and I was like, "Is he on the other side of the bed?" The normal places he may be in the house, and he wasn't. So I was like, "Okay, well, hold on a minute." And immediately after that, we called the sheriff's department.
Okay. So you heard that, right? You heard that. Now let's go over to Chronicles of Olivia. Now let me know. I'm hoping that it's showing. Let me just make sure that's playing.
Mother and stepfather.
Okay, it looks like it's playing. It's playing well. Okay, so here is Olivia's. Hold on. Here's Olivia's interview. So we're going to listen to what is being said in this interview.
And he talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Walk through that day.
Here we go.
Sunday, the day before he went missing. We got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag.
Now this is all Sunday. A lot more details on what happened Sunday so far. But this is not the kicker. This is not the kicker. Yeah, I know. Fun fact. I made breakfast for him. What's so fun about that? Does she not typically make? I don't know. But let's not get hung up on some of these little, because people do say things accidentally. You guys watch me do it all the time on a live show. So
we went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked.
Did you see how she looked over at him? Now remember, he's not even supposed to be there. And let's look at that again. And she's literally looking at him to find out who they called. How would he know? That's the first thing I want to know is how would he know? He was not there. Let's look at this again.
Actually, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag.
Watch this. Watch this.
We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call.
Right. We went and picked up. She went and hit him on the leg and said, "Who did we go pick up?" Oh yeah, that's right. What? What? You weren't there, sir. She sure did hit his knee to make sure that was right, that was accurate. He told us he wasn't there. Let's listen to this again. Does this sound like he wasn't there, or does this sound like he was there? Let's go back 15 seconds.
And he talked to family on the phone during breakfast to
Watch.
brag. We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call.
We went and picked up our niece. Our niece. We went and picked up our niece. Okay, so I'm done. And over analyzing that statement. What does it mean? I don't know. Could he have been there because she had just been, maybe just referencing a conversation she had with them? It is possible. It is possible. We might be looking way too much into this factor of her hitting him and looking as if he was with her on that Sunday. So again, it sounds like there were people, like if they went and picked up the niece should be able to corroborate whether he was there or not. But again, keeping it in the family, is it his family or hers? I don't know. I digress.
And asked her if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that, and we went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He
doesn't sound like if she did, it doesn't sound like they made it back home. She went and picked up her niece with Sebastian, and they went out. So let's listen to the day. So far, Chris would not be involved in this because we know that she went out with Sebastian by herself. So now that means she went out with Sebastian and her niece by herself.
He had a colossal popcorn. Came home and put the groceries away because we bought snacks because he's 15.
So they did come home at this point.
We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner.
So was the niece with them at dinner? Because I heard it was just her and Sebastian at dinner, and so far, um, she hasn't dropped her niece off yet. So was the niece with her for dinner and bowling? Because this is the first time we heard of this niece. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's not true, because let's face it, there was a lot of stuff cut from the original interview that the news had with them, right? Because it was only a 5-minute clip. We'll get back to it. And you know that these interviews last a heck of a lot longer than 5 minutes. So was there other details that maybe editing wise that they removed from the original story? We don't know, but we did get what she said happened that morning. And now we're listening to it on Chronicles of Olivia. Does it sound the same? It doesn't sound the same, but this has more detail in it. Does that mean she's lying? Or she's just providing them a more large, more global view of what happened leading up to his disappearance? I'll let you guys decide.
Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. He's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." We went to bed.
Like, she seems like, right, the way she's saying it, it seems like she's just going through her mind saying this script. Like, she has no emotion, no nothing. She's just going through this list in her head of what to say. I don't know. This just happened with Olivia when she's been there for the Riley Strain case. She was there for the Rogers case, and then the Strain case broke off, and she, I think, redirected and went over to the Strain case. But again, this is a significant amount of days after the child is missing and has been missing with no contact with any of the family. And this is the mom, just completely numb, completely detached, going through this list. I don't know what to think of this. Is this normal behavior? Is this just how she's grieving? Or does this say more? 15. What does 15 mean? Oh, somebody must be asking how old he is. Yes, he's 15 years old. 15-year-old autistic boy.
He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
And that wasn't what she said. She said that she asked him to go to bed, and he went to bed. Ha, ha, ha. No problems.
And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I looked through the house for him because it was typical.
Here we go. Okay, now this is going to be, now I know where it's at in this thing. So we're going to go back and we're going to listen to the original interview. This is where she's going to be explaining what happened that morning.
For him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that, and he likes to dip behind the walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back. I mean, he likes to scare me, but after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, "I can't find him." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not in this effing house. I can't find our son." And I jumped in my car and
guys hear that? Let's go back.
"I can't find him." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "He's not in this effing house. I can't find our son." And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying and screaming, and he was like, He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them, like, our son is missing and we don't know what's. See that hesitation? He coughed and it distracted her. And she's like, the three-way call. Now, let's go back. Where was that at? 31. All right, let's go back. Hear what happened.
And so at that point, is that when you call 911?
Oh, let me go back a little further. Hold on. Hit the wrong button here. Let's go back.
Times. About 3 minutes in, give or take. I was
3
on the
minutes
phone with
in.
my husband.
3 minutes in.
I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I can't find him. He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
And so at that point, is that when you call 911, or what's going through your mind?
While we were on the phone, and I was there, it was like, is he on the other side of the bed? The normal places he may be in the house, and he wasn't. So I was like, okay, well, hold on a minute. And immediately after that, we called the sheriff's department.
Okay. That's what they said. That's what they said. Let me get that back here. 31. Let's see if that's what they say here. 3 minutes. Place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying and screaming, and he was like, she pauses. He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them, like, our son is missing and we don't know. So now we have the story going from her being home at the home, her being at the house, didn't leave. According to the very first interview, she didn't go anywhere. She specifically stated, within 3 minutes, I called my husband. He told me to search here, here, here. I mean, like, he took over the conversation and said, I told her to search here. And I'm like, we immediately called law enforcement. In this one, they're saying, oh, I called my husband, but I got in my car. I drove around the neighborhood. I went over by the school. He wasn't there. Then the husband called 911 on three-way. So again, these aren't things that I'm doing. I'm not pointing the finger at this family. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody at this moment. I'm simply saying that, typically in cases like this, we don't have those major changes in the story. What typically happens when we have major changes in the story is that typically a law enforcement officer has already come up to them and said, look, we have a problem with this. You said you were in your house. However, we have your phone pinging outside your house, going here and going here. Can you explain that, ma'am? Oh, yeah. Well, that's because I got in my car and I was searching the neighborhood and went over to the school to search for my son. I just forgot to tell you. Now she's got to introduce that into her story now, because that's the story she's now given law enforcement. Now, does this mean anything? I don't know what it means. I don't know if this lady had anything to do with her son's disappearance. I don't know if this man had anything to do with her son's disappearance. All I can simply say is their behavior this many days after he's been missing is that, like, even if the behaviors were spot on at the beginning, now that it's been this significant amount of days, their behaviors don't make sense. Their behaviors really didn't make sense, a few days after it.
But it really wasn't until I saw his behaviorism, because I've been on the fence with this family. I don't want to, because again, I do hold a lot of stock in the behavior panel. But there are times even I disagree. They call the sheriff's direct line. Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. I don't know if I would have done that. Autistic child missing. I don't know if I would have thought to call in the main line. I would just dial 911. I think that's really our normal behavior when we feel like we're in an emergency situation. Interesting. Have they released the 911 call? If they haven't, they need to. They need to release that 911 call. I want to hear what the behaviorism of Chris is. And the fact that his job, the fact that his job has asked him not to come back until this is resolved is really odd behavior for me for a job. Typically, when you are an employee of a job and you have a child that's missing, they usually surround you with love and support. They don't try to fire you. I thought that was a little problematic. And if they did, if this business, if this company, literally, if this man has nothing to do with this, and his business that he worked for was literally ready to fire him because his child disappeared, can you imagine the PR nightmare for that construction company or that crane company? Can you imagine? That is a PR nightmare. And for them to tell this man not to come back to work until his problem and his issues are resolved. And that came right out of his own mouth. That came out of Chris Proudfoot's mouth. I heard the rumors, but I never, it wasn't corroborated. If it's not corroborated and I have no way of corroborating it, I'm not going to bring it up. I would bring it up and say, this hasn't been corroborated, right? I mean, I would do it if it was important to me, but that detail wasn't important to me at the time. So we had some major differences in what they stated happened the morning that Sebastian Rogers disappeared. And that's what has me the most concerned. When I'm looking at cases, this is what I don't like seeing happen with parents. This right here is what makes me tune in and look directly at them and say, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. You lied. You added in additional information. Maybe there's a reasonable explanation. Maybe Katie has a very reasonable, legitimate explanation as to why she didn't make these statements at the beginning with the first interview. She kept a lot of stuff out of that first interview. Why? It seems like she's being forced to introduce stuff into these later interviews because they are being twisted. Now, after the Smiley's World interview, I heard that Chris Proudfoot lawyered up. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I can't corroborate that, right? I don't have any way on earth to corroborate whether Chris Proudfoot has lawyered up unless he says he's gotten an attorney. For me, having an attorney doesn't bother me in cases like this, okay? In cases like this, I've explained, if you don't know why, you need to go back to some of my other videos to learn why having an attorney in a case like this doesn't bother me. I think it's actually smart for anybody, guilty or not guilty, to get an attorney when you're facing situations like this. It just helps guide you, because you have to remember, if you're near somebody, you were around somebody before they disappeared, you are a potential suspect. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking to any law enforcement agent as a suspect without an attorney. It just ain't happening. So any of this stuff here, these type of cases here, I think everybody should get attorneys if you want my truth. And I know that upsets some people, but when I hear people exercising their right to have an attorney, it does not sway me one bit onto whether I think they're guilty or innocent. It really doesn't. It's their behavior. It's what they've done. It's not whether they get counsel or not. That doesn't tell me whether they're guilty or not. That tells me that they're smart enough to get counsel. Why does Sebastian go to a therapist? Karen, well, he was autistic, so I would think that he has to be on ongoing therapy for his condition, because autistic kids have behavioral issues. Not that it's their fault, but they don't know how to express themselves correctly. So I would have to think that that would be. Everybody I've known that's had autism has been in therapy most of their childhood. So I don't know if that's just what is required for autistic children or not. Maybe he was dealing with some extra stuff. Maybe it was requested by the schools. Sometimes the schools put these requests on the parents, and it's either you do this, or you're going to have to take your kid to a different school. Hey Betty, the mother said he didn't spank him with a belt. Then he turned around and said he did. I know. That's the problem I have, Ricky, is because it's one of those things where you want to show that you are going out of your way to prove that the parents aren't responsible. But when I'm going out of my way to prove that they're not responsible, everything I'm seeing is showing that they are. Now, for me, it's not that I think everybody's going to take what I'm seeing and turn it into what I'm feeling. But I agree with you. It seems like the mother keeps changing the story a little bit. And I keep noticing Chris is always trying to maintain the narrative. He's always interjecting, always overspeaking. Even on Smiley's, somebody had brought that up. And you know what she looks like to me, in all fairness? She looks like a battered wife to me. She's just sitting there doing exactly what she's being told to do and say. I'm sorry. That's the way I look at her. There's from the very beginning, I said that I really think Chris was home at the time. I don't know, just like Don Wells. I believe Don Wells was home at the time. I just don't see, because I know construction. You guys know my history. I was in construction work for many years. I owned a handyman business for almost a decade. I can do drywall, I can do electrical, I can do plumbing, I can fix the front of my car. I'm not a dumb blonde over here. Okay. I have a lot of skills. I've done a lot in my life. I can take care of myself. And I've been in construction long enough to know how construction works. I know people get off at 2 p.m. and start drinking immediately. They go cash the check and start drinking. Most construction workers do. Okay. It is what it is. But on the weekends, construction typically isn't running on the weekends. They don't have the cranes moving. They don't have men on the ground. They usually are a Monday through Friday type of crew. This might be one that is a 24-hour job where they're working 24 hours. I don't know the setup of it. I just know that they cannot run one employee 24 hours a day, right? So I have to assume if he is not working on Saturday, only being 3.5 hours away from home, it seems to me that a construction worker that has been on a construction site all week would want to sleep in his own bed for a few nights. I'm just saying. I know when I have an opportunity and I'm only 3.5 hours away and I don't have a job to do for 2 days, my butt's coming to my bed. I'm marrying my bed for a weekend. Whether I do anything, go on an outing with my family or not, I'm going to be sleeping in my damn bed. So I had always assumed that he would be home on the weekends if he's not working. It's only 3.5 hours away. I even talked about the construction people. He would have gotten up about, depending on what time he wanted to be to work, only 3.5 hours away. If he had to be on the job at 6 a.m., he has to leave home around 2:30 in the morning. The wife went to bed at midnight. It's at the time when the husband left. I always have these questions. So at the end of the day, I will be going into the community here next week. And I just wanted to go to Smiley's World. I think this is the one right here, the interview with the parents. Let me see if this is the one. I don't see the parents on this one.
As real as life.
Okay, so that must not have been the right one. Hold on, this must be breaking. Oh, we had the one with her Interview with the parents. I'll have to find it. I didn't get that one set up. Oh yeah, I did. The interview the other night. Let's talk about Sebastian Rogers and the interview the other night. Did she take the interview down? Why would Smiley take the interview down? Did she take it down? I hope she didn't take it down. I'll have to find it. We'll go over it tomorrow because we're already over an hour into this interview. And of course, I'm looking into the background of Chris Proudfoot. It seems like over the last few years, he's really tried to better himself with education. If you guys remember when we did a background search, it looked like in 2015, he decided to travel from Virginia over to California to start his new life over again. And then about a year later, about 2016, it appears that he started wanting to do better for himself and get an associate's degree in business management and administration. And then about 3 years later, I guess he wasn't doing well in that. 3 years later, he decides he wants to get, a degree or get the proper prerequisites to do heavy equipment. And you can see where he went to the Heavy Equipment College of America and the Tower Crane School of Phoenix to become a tower crane operator. So he went to schooling to become a tower crane operator. And shortly thereafter, it appears, he was obviously married, and he was going through that marriage process. But he also owned a home in Gallatin, Tennessee, or maybe he was renting it in 2013 before he ran off in 2015. So he's been all over the country, but he mostly resides in Tennessee, and he was in El Cajon, California in 2015 to 2017, and then in Louisiana in 2016, and of course in Virginia from 2013 to 2015. So he's kind of been all over the place from the West Coast to the East Coast, and then decided to settle into Tennessee. It looks like right around the 2017 timeframe, which is when I would presume that he started meeting Katie Proudfoot. And it seems like his relationship with Katie Proudfoot made him want to do better, because it seems like he wanted to go to school and do better for himself and get that, associate's degree in business management. Whatever he did, it looked like he went into some type of give me just a second. Where's his businesses? There we go. It looks like he went into some type of he was like a manager or something, overseeing a type of business that was, oh, here we go. Yeah, administrator for the government. I don't know when he was the administrator. It says U.S. government administrator, and it was from 2016 to 2023. Now, I thought that was a little odd, but he became a crane operator in 2021. So 2020 to 2021, he became a crane operator, and he was a career counselor at one point from 2022 to 2023. A senior manager. This looks like a portfolio manager. So it seems like he did something in the financial sector, probably what his business administration was for, but he didn't hack it. And so he had to go into the construction, and it looks like he decided to become a crane operator. So, he's been all over the place. He's had a multitude of different things. He can't keep a relationship. He's had literally 5 marriages. That's telling me somebody that he has if you're a good guy, you shouldn't have this many personal, private issues going on in your life where you can't keep your wife happy and you got to go through all these women. You know what it tells me? It tells me that he's one way until he gets them, and then he does a complete 180 after he's married. He gets them locked in, and then he becomes this person, and they're like, I need to go. 5 marriages. Now, I know there's a lot of women out there that go through marriages too. I'm not dogging the amount of marriages, except you probably ain't the best. You probably wouldn't be my husband or wife. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So don't get all pissed and shitty. because I'm saying you're having a marital problem. Okay, 5 marriages. It's a marital problem to me. Okay. He's very controlling. I can tell that. He overruns all the conversation. She's just sitting there, just allowing it. God knows what she's gone through and standing by her man in all of this. If this is in fact, now there's also something else that came to my mind. Now this is just a theory. It doesn't mean it doesn't even mean it holds water or anything. But check this out. Okay, they haven't been married very long. I mean, they have and haven't. They haven't been married for a decade yet, from my understanding. I don't know when they got married, but it sounds like they've been together for about 8 years. Since the beginning of the relationship, whatever that may be. It seems like a lot of the behind the details are about the same as Madeline Soto, just not the SA, at least that we know of, right? But they were about to have to now mind you, it's my understanding that Seth provides child support for Sebastian, as well as because of his disability, he gets a disability stipend. Now, I don't know what the total cost or monetary benefit that is. Okay, I don't know what it is on a monthly basis. Is it $1,000? Is it $2,500? Is it $3,500? I don't know what that cost is to that household. I don't know how much that's funding the household, his disability, as well as the child support. Okay, I don't know. Either way, I keep wondering, now that he's married to his wife, and now that his stepson is going to Seth's house, they're going to be losing all of that money. They're going to be losing his disability. They're going to be losing the child support payment. And my next question is, would they have to now start paying child support? And would that be based upon Chris's income, his his lofty income he gets from the crane work? I mean, he's living in almost a $700,000 home. So again, would this have damaged them financially? And would that household now have to start paying Seth child support? Is this a liability that Chris did not want to have? Is it possible that Chris snuck into the house that night without the knowledge of his wife to eliminate his financial issue? We assume they had too much money. Guys, I'm telling you, looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Unless you're looking at their banking account, looks can be deceiving. I know I can tell you there are probably a half a dozen families right now with children that I know of right now that live in beautiful homes, have beautiful cars, and are literally in the red every single month. In the red. You would never know that they're having financial problems. None. Hold on a second. This is Betty.
Betty, this is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. We stopped at a stop rest area, so I thought I would just try to call in.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused.
We stopped at a stop area on our way down to Florida.
Are you Connie's sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Karen. I've got like several Karens in my chat. I had no earthly idea. I'm trying to figure out why am I so confused? Sorry. I am so sorry, Karen. Yes.
It's good. It's good. It's all okay.
Gotcha. So
the notebooks. Her daughter Cassie already took them home. But I can talk to her about it.
Yeah, if she wants to, I mean, she may want to keep them. It's her mom, I don't want to take anything.
But she may be willing to meet you.
Oh, okay.
Because she's in Gainesville.
Oh, okay.
And I know
and I'm going to
somewhere
Tennessee
around.
soon, so that would almost be perfect because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna.
Yeah. We did notice because her phone, she had paid for it for 6 months. I thought I was going to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
But she had already paid for it for 6 months. So I've been in listening to your stuff. I haven't wanted to chat because that's very hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
We're still processing everything. She never told us she was sick.
She never told me she was sick either.
She had cancer in her throat.
Oh, did she knew about it?
She knew. Well, we believe she knew. We don't know that she knew, but one of the doctors that we did speak to at the hospital that night, they from their conversations, they knew, and she knew.
Oh, wow.
But she never received treatment.
She never told anybody either.
Never told anybody, and never went and got the treatment.
Wow.
So, like I say, it's still very, very raw for us because we don't understand why. But also, on the other hand, we believe she had given up.
That was going to be my next thing, because she had struggled with her husband and her son, and I know that was very emotional for her.
You know, it wasn't just her one son and her husband. She has lost 5 children.
Yeah, I know. She told me about the children previously. I was aware of that, but it seemed like her turn came when her son and husband died within a year apart.
Yeah, that she wouldn't even talk about it to us. So I hope she did open up to you about things, because I'm 16 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
We were never had that real close. I mean, of course, we talked, we family reunion, stuff like that, but we never were able to get that connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping, and she seems very loved in your chat. Yeah. Very, very loved in your chat.
She was here every morning. I mean, we all conversed with her literally every single morning.
Yeah. One of the notebooks, Cassie called and told me that she got to write in one of her notebooks on a Cody Bisbee.
Yeah.
Something. Anyway, I don't know if that's the correct last name, but she did write in her notebook on that the father was convicted and the baby's never been found.
Oh, wow.
So we did get to end, her daughter did get to end one of her notebooks.
Yeah.
And I believe she may want to keep adding to them, because I know she has even mentioned that she's been not chatted, but she's been listening to you.
Aww.
But she's afraid to chat because she's still very broken up.
Oh, I can only imagine. Well, we definitely loved Connie. She was definitely one of us. You know, she was part of the coffee club, and she's definitely going to be missed. So I hope you guys keep coming back.
I remember 2 years ago when we had the family reunion at my house in Nebraska, she had to step away because you came on.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't going to miss it.
Yeah.
So we do recall her mentioning you a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so you were, I believe, one of her closest, dearest friends, probably.
Well,
because not one friend in Panama City, Florida, has reached out or ever even come over. So we don't even believe she had anybody.
I know she will. She said, you know what? I don't know either. I really don't, because she was so involved, you know, there when she was at her trailer, she was so involved here. We were on chat like literally all day, every day. So,
well, I just believe that you were probably the only friend and the closest friend she had.
That's aww.
Because, like I said, we were at her trailer the first time for 2 weeks, and no one has called her phone. No one came by.
I didn't know it was like that for her. That makes me sad.
Yes, she was very secluded, we believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, she always had such an upbeat personality here. If she was lonely, we definitely kept her company. So.
Well, and I'm so thankful for you. And you did that for my sister.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to let you go because this is just starting to really break me up. And
I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you guys. We're praying for you guys. We really are.
I have to show composure when I meet up with her boys today.
Yeah.
You know, I can't.
Well, just tell her that we all love her. She was loved, but you know, if she was isolated, she wasn't isolated when we were on. We enjoyed having her. She enjoyed being here, and we're just really sorry.
Well, I thank you and everyone in your group that
Well, God bless you,
You
and
know,
I wish you guys the best.
okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Aw. I don't think we realize, how much impact we do have on people that don't get out very much, and it's one of the reasons why we started the church service on Sunday, where we go as a group, because it might have been Connie. I mean, I can't remember. There was somebody that I had that I was talking to on the phone, and they're like, I'm bedridden. And I'm like, oh, because I was like, why don't you come and meet us here? And they said, well, I'm bedridden. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? It was like the light bulb on top of my head went off, and it's like, wait a minute, we have people that are on YouTube all day because they got nothing else to watch. They're home, they're in bed, or they're in a chair. They have mobility issues. Some of these people are paralyzed for whatever reason, it's just ill, cancers and all this other stuff. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but I did not realize that. And then I realized, well, these people probably aren't getting out and aren't able to go to church, aren't able to, and that's why we started doing some of the things, so we can bring, the crew, and so they feel like they're not alone, out there. That's what's really important to us. This is Betty. They're not alone. Hello?
Hi, Betty. Is this Betty?
It's Betty.
Hi, Betty. Carla from Canada. I just wanted to call in and thank you for all the lovely work you do looking for everybody and helping out. I am one of those people that are stuck at home all the time with kidney failure.
Aw. Yeah, see, I don't know why I never thought about that before, but we did. But when I did think about it, you know what? I put something in place so we could all be together and be all help support each other. It sucks. I don't know. I can tell you, with me being home for this 2 weeks where I can't leave, like I can't just say, oh, I need an ice cream. Let me get in my car and go to the store. It's given me a whole new perspective because I'm going nuts here.
It totally sucks. It really does. It really does. But you lift me up every day, Betty, and that's all I wanted to call in and say hi.
Oh, well, thank you, Carla. I'm so thankful. I'm glad we're reaching to Canada. We got a crazy state.
Yes, you sure are.
All right, Carla. Well,
You have
God
a wonderful day and God bless.
Oh, absolutely. And we love you and we thank you for your support.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Our beautiful Carla. It's nice. It's nice. There's an Ohio Amber Alert for a 15-year-old girl, Kaylee Cope from Orange City, Ohio, which is in the Columbus area. Bob G is giving us, let's go ahead and look her up so we can advocate for her while we are here. Cope, Ohio, Grove City. Here we go. Let's read about her real quick. We're just going to dovetail away from I'm not Riley Strain. Sebastian Rogers for just a second. Why is this not opening up? Hold on. I have some technical issues here. There we go. Nothing's opening for me. It's not moving. I don't know what's going on here. It just froze up on me. Let me open a new one. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. Kaylee. I don't know what's going on with my computer here lately. Now we're getting somewhere. Here we go. I don't know why I wouldn't open anything up on that one. Let's just take a few moments and advocate for this young lady here. It sounds like there's an Amber Alert out of Ohio. I'll read this here. There she is right there on your screen. Her name is Kaylee Cope from Grove City. An Amber Alert was issued Saturday morning for a 15-year-old girl from Grove City. Kaylee Cope is described as 5 feet tall, weighs about 100 pounds, according to the alert. She has brown eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing a pink crop top and gray sweatpants. Her last known location was 2700 block of Independence Way, according to the alert. She was last seen about 11:30 p.m. on Friday, according to Grove City Police. Authorities say she is with Jeffrey Jimenez, 17, who is driving a silver 4-door Honda An Amber Alert is a notification system to help find abducted children. So I don't know if she's having if she decided to run away with her boyfriend, or if her boyfriend abducted her, or if this is a stranger danger abduction. We've heard situations like that happen where a kid from school that had no relation to that person ended up doing some horrible things. So we don't know what this is. Either way, it's rose to the level of Ohio releasing an Amber Alert for this young girl. If you've seen her, obviously they have a car and can get away and get far away. So this is going to be an Amber Alert, even though it's in Ohio. All the surrounding states and communities, please consider being on the lookout. She's very pretty. So take a look at her eyes, take a look at her teeth, and take a look at her nose. Those are going to be the identifying features. No matter what her hair color is, those are going to be the identifying features that you guys need to see and watch out for. Remember, hair color can change, length of hair can change, but eyes, nose, mouth, and teeth do not change. So there you guys have it. Thank you, Bob G, for bringing this to our attention. And again, this is a 15-year-old girl out of Grove City, Ohio. Her name's Kaylee Cope, 5 feet, 100 pounds, went missing. She's believed to be with a Jeffrey Jimenez, who was 17, driving a silver 4-door Honda. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I still can't find the interview for Smiley's World. So we're going to not go over that. And then the last thing I think I have, and I did have the Cajun Navy. This is the cool thing, is like it was shortly after, about an hour and a half after I pled to my audience on TikTok to have the Cajun Navy, to reach out to the Cajun Navy, since they were already in the area. And you can see here that this was done. Well, maybe you can't see it. Let me see if I can see it. 20-minute live at 7:44 this morning. At 7:44 this morning, I was begging for the Cajun Navy to stay around and to assist in the Sebastian Rogers case. And then we learn shortly after my live ended that they have agreed this morning. We deployed a search team with canines to Sumner County, Tennessee, to assist the family of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. He has been missing for 5 weeks, and we have been asked to redirect assets from Riley Strain to help search and bring Sebastian home. Please contact us with any tips. As always, please pray for Sebastian's family and our volunteers. There is some contention, it seems like, within this family that we're realizing, especially between Seth and the mom and the father. It seemed like it was a good, cohesive relationship on the surface when we started this case, but we're starting to see the breakdown of the separation of the family, the stepfather from the father. You know, the father's just, I think he's got doubts. It appears he has doubts. And here's why I think that Seth has doubts about Chris Proudfoot's and Chris Proudfoot's involvement, because he's searching along Chris Proudfoot's path of travel. Seth, the father of Sebastian Rogers, is looking into the path of travel of Chris Proudfoot. That says a lot. That screams a lot. That's not me saying it. So I'm going to be going into town. I'm going to be deriving information. When I get into town, I'm going to be also searching along I-40. I'm also going to be looking at maps. I'm also going to be in front of this house, outside of this house, down the road, and in the community when I get to Tennessee. I've got a lot of work to do myself. I don't know what other creators have done or where other creators have looked. But I'm going to review the map, review the path of travel, and see if I find anything that would make me want to go and check and search along that path. I do not know how long this trip will be. I'm going to try to budget it the best I can to be out there as long as possible. So I will keep you guys up to date with that. We're not leaving until after Monday. So it might be Monday, Tuesday. It'll probably most likely be early Wednesday morning around 2 a.m. I'll probably be leaving, and I'll be getting there, Wednesday in the afternoon by 2 p.m. and we can start getting to work that evening. And then we'll start first thing, boots on the ground, Thursday morning, and work throughout the weekend. That's what I'd like to do. That's my anticipated schedule. But again, it really does depend on funding and depend on how much I can stretch that funding. So we will get out there. We will do what we can do. When we get out there, all I ask for you guys to do is share the work that we're doing, advocate for this. Let's hold off on the accusations just yet. I just like to get in the area. I'm pretty sure that we kind of have an idea of where this case is going. And, you know, I feel like it's drifting into that direction, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate that it is drifting in that direction. I do pray that Chris and Katie either speak to me on the record or off the record. But if they don't, it's not going to stop the work that I'm doing. I just need to get some information. I don't want to be accusatory to them. I don't want to be rude to them. I just want to get to the bottom of this matter. This is always a caution to anybody, is I'd rather you not talk to me than lie to me in my face. Lying to me, it never works out well, especially when I find out it's a lie. And so that would be my only caution to the parents, is I'd rather you just avoid me and not talk to me and tell me you don't want, comment, than you tell me a bold-faced lie, because I'll tell you what, you'd rather not talk to me than lie to me. I can promise anybody that. So with that being said, that's where we're going to be. I hope that they can at least direct me, give me some, help in my search efforts. But we'll see. We'll see how, I don't expect a whole lot from Katie or Chris at this moment, because I feel like they've been beat up enough by social media. And that's really bad. That's why I always say, we have our feelings, but we need to get information. And when people are sitting there wagging their finger and pointing their finger and sitting the whole time accusing the parents of doing something instead of deriving any information where we can find this kid, it just is, it's problematic for me, guys. I'm sorry. We can have those discussions later, but we have a missing child right now. I need to find information about that child, and everything has been directed to where the parents have been. That has not helped me. Nobody's even asking, what way does he typically go to work? How long does it take him to get to work? All these questions that I would be asking these parents that these other people aren't asking them because they're too busy accusing them. So hopefully if anybody gets them on their channel, let's keep it focused to Sebastian Rogers, and any information to relate to Sebastian and to Chris Proudfoot and to Katie Proudfoot, where they've been specifically. We need to focus on that. Quit accusing these parents. You either believe they did it or you didn't. Okay, that's all there is to it. That's out of the way. We've got work to do here. Okay, real work. This is not a joke. This is a kid that's missing in that area. And so if we can, I just want to refocus. I'm not criticizing the creators out there. I just want to try to help refocus them, because we need information about their whereabouts, about their specific locations, where they went the day. We need to plug down Chris Proudfoot's whereabouts. Not one person has held that man's feet to the fire out of all these interviews to demand where the hell he was. We need to find out what Chris Proudfoot's movements were, because you know what? Let's be honest. I'm not out there to accuse families. I'm out there to help and find this child. So if Chris Proudfoot can say, I was here, I had nothing to do with it, tell me. If you can't tell it to the public, tell me. I will go out, corroborate the information, and let the whole world know that you had nothing to do with it, that it's completely inconceivable that you had anything to do with it. Either way, we'll be out there next week. That's what I have for Sebastian Rogers right now. There's a whole lot of nothing. We have no proof that he even walked out of the house. We have no evidence of any kind. There's no hits from the dogs. There's no, the parents are saying he doesn't have friends. The parents are saying he doesn't get online. The parents are saying a whole bunch of stuff that's backing them slap in a corner that they can't get out of. And I don't think that they intended to do that when they started out with the story. Now we're starting to hear more descriptions being plugged in as law enforcement is pressuring them to give them a good timeline. You're going to hear additional stuff adding in, because they got to fill that timeline up with something. We went through this with Summer Wells. We went through this with her parents. And still to this day, 3 years later, their timeline is Swiss cheese, and those parents have never been cleared of any wrongdoing in Summer Wells' case. So I'm curious as to what's going on here. But the name of the game right now is finding out where Sebastian Rogers is. And we have to bring him home. We know how Tennessee is, right? If you ain't got a body, you're going to sit there and wait, and they're going to make you click the time away, okay? They don't have a budget because nobody in the state of Tennessee wants to support financially their law enforcement. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee, folks. I really don't. But you residents of Tennessee, you need to get out and vote. You need to quit sitting on your butts. You need to get in your county community. You need to start getting your policing funded. You need to start getting these investigations funded, because I'm sick and tired of this happening in Tennessee all the time. How many more disappearances are we going to have that go unsolved in the state of Tennessee? Why are they going unsolved in the state of Tennessee? Because they don't have no fucking money. Why? Because their politicians in their state house and senate are hoarding money, are not doing their job to get the money from the federal government to their state. Either way you look at it, you got a politician problem in the state of Tennessee. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. 5 cases. 5 cases. 4 of which are unsolved right now. 4. Tennessee, you need to clean up everything, including your shorelines, because I'm sure the environmentalists, after seeing that nonsense, are going to be breathing down your throat here shortly. And if they're not, hold on, just sit tight. I'll make sure that they get all the videos necessary so they're breathing down your neck. Clean the city up. That was disgusting. Tennessee, you got problems. You got problems. You're claiming clean air. Where? Through all the trash? The feces dust? Clean your shit up. All right. Now that I'm done complaining, now it's time to get to work, right? So if you guys have any ideas, I know that there's a lot of people that can't get out there and search for him physically, but I know I have a lot of cyber sleuths that watch here. If not, let your favorite creators know I am going out there. If they have an idea of places to search, I am dead ass serious about this. I don't go out there to waste my time. If you've got places that need to be searched, get with your creators and let me know those places. We might as well just go ahead and get it all knocked out. If people have places they believe this boy is at that nobody's searching, let's get it done. No stone left unturned. I don't really cover teenagers' cases because there's a lot of teenagers that run away, right? This is a case that I'm covering because this is a medically needy kid. This is a medically needy kid that has a lot of strange things that are going on in and around his life. I want to know how much abuse was inside that home, if any. That's my first priority. It doesn't look like, Chris Proudfoot, he's only got speeding tickets. Okay. He doesn't have a history of violence for the record, or on the record, I should say. It doesn't mean he doesn't, right? It doesn't mean he's not a violent person. It just means that the people that he threatened, he could have threatened not to call, right? So there's no charges. But there's other ways for me to derive information to find out what's going on inside that home, and I plan on doing just that when I get into town. I think that's it. I just need help in locating some areas of searching. And I don't mind being out by myself, and trust me, anybody that comes out there and tries to screw with me, you're going to be met with some nastiness. So let's just, if you want to come out and be prepared to work, be prepared to help, wear comfortable shoes and comfortable clothes. When I go out, we go out for hours. Where, you guys may only see 15 or 20 minutes of screen time, but we go out for hours. If anybody's ever been out with me on one of these searches, it's hard. We don't stop. If you can't make it, it's your responsibility to get yourself back to your vehicle. If that's not something that's comfortable for you, then you have to weigh whether to come out and help or not. Because once I'm out there, I'm out there. I don't turn around. I don't stop. I don't walk people back to their cars. I don't do any of that when I'm in there searching, and I've got my mindset. That's what I do. So if you want to come out and help, please reach out to me so I can be in contact with you to let you know where I will be. It sounds like Justice for All is going to be coming out there, assisting and providing his platform to advocate for this young boy as well. And then, of course, we are going to have a multitude of content creators. Hopefully, we can collaborate together, utilize our resources, and really try to bring this child home. We're going to try to bring him home safely. But it's, when we have 5 weeks that have gone by and nobody's heard from this young boy, it's almost a sadness that comes on me when I go out there. But we still give it 110%, and that's all that matters. All right, guys, you take care. God bless you. You have a wonderful Saturday. Go out and make it a great day. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But before we close out, again, I do want to let everybody hear the thank you and the pleads of gratitude of Riley's family. It's very sad, but I just wanted to get it across all the social media platforms of their gratitude. This is why we do what we do.
For being here, and those of you that help us keep Riley's face in front of the cameras, you've helped us get some closure here and let us take our boy home.
Press conference was just held related to Riley Strain, and his family just wants to thank everybody involved in this matter that helped them find their son. As you see, everybody is just reeling with emotions right now. This is not the outcome anybody had hoped for, but one that was expected, and the family is just thankful. They're just thankful that they get to bring their boy home, and everybody out there, including social media, had a part in that. Check it out.
I got a lot of people to thank, and I'm sure I'll forget somebody. You won't be forgotten. I'll remember you. The whole family will remember you. I want to first thank the NMPD for their efforts. They've had a lot of sleepless nights on this case as well. Can't give them enough thanks. Really appreciate the work they've done. The United Cajun Navy has come in to assist them. They've done a lot of work on the water and land for us. Came in and gave structure to this investigation on our side of it. The Ward family for all their work. All the people back home in our own personal lives that have been there to support us, and our family at home as well. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. We can't say enough to all of you. Thank you.
Most of you are familiar with seeing my face by now. I'm sure we're all ready for it to be over with. It's been an emotional roller coaster. We're quite thankful for everything that you've done for our family. The grace that you've given us, it means a lot, more than you'll ever know. We have learned through this ordeal that everybody has brought all the good to us. We've had a little bad. We're extremely thankful for all the volunteers that have shown up, given us their time, their effort, their energy. Very little sleep they've gone on. Our family, we can't thank our family enough for all the support that they've provided us, for all the, time spent, the love, the energy. Our friends that we consider family that aren't able to be here but have been at home caring to everything that we can't take care of, thank you. To the people of Nashville, I can't thank you enough for the support, the love, the encouragement that you've shown myself and my wife and Ryan and Millie. You don't understand how much that meant to us in some of our darkest hours. The hugs, the prayers, the offers. I can't say it enough. Thank you.
I just want to reiterate how thankful we are for everyone and how much we appreciate everyone's support and love and prayers, because we feel them. We have felt every one of them, every single one. I just ask that you mamas out there hug your babies tight tonight, please. Please, for me, just hug your babies tight tonight. And again, thank you. Thank you for sharing our story.